Hey, you true believers. Chris Mack coming at you today with an action figure that I have just been impatiently waiting to review. Today we're going over the Marvel Legends X-Men Bonebreaker. We've gone over the figures that you have to get to build him, so I'll make sure to leave links through this review so you can look at them at your convenience. Now, to build this guy, there's so many figures, and I don't know, let me know what you guys think, but I'm getting kind of tired of Build-A-Figures. I would have preferred a deluxe figure compared to this, but it is what it is. And with that said, if the left chassis comes with Siren, the barrels come with Havoc, the hands and the automatic torso there comes with Vulcan, the head and the gun come with Maggot, the right chassis comes with Darwin, the trap door, the motor, and the mechanical waist here comes with Sabretooth. So out of all of them, Sabretooth is probably, and Maggot, if you want the head, are going to be the big ones that you want to get. So as you can see, I kind of just hodgepodge this together. Let's go ahead and put this bad boy together. So let's go ahead and start with the right chassis. And as you can see, there's little slider pegs there. We're going to kind of move all that out of the way. You want to take the mechanical chassis with the red facing forward, so you don't have to do that again. You can kind of see it. It would have been helpful if they would have put instructions with this, but don't worry, I got you covered. Now there's another little peg here, as you see, and that's where we put the motor, red facing out because you want the fan belt, alternator belt, sure, why not? That wants to face out, so we're gonna plop, it fits relatively in the space. Now, you see this ever so tiny mother-loving peg right there? That's where you put the trap door. So, it gets a nice little and then we're gonna kind of move all this other stuff out the way. Make sure you got the lights for the left chassis facing forward. Make sure everything lines up, which is one thing is going to be a pain in the ass here in a second. Trying to get that back trapdoor. We'll have to do that last. Let's see if we can get this bad boy squeezed together. And careful, because this little hook likes to catch on that. So boom, got that. Let's see if the trapdoor connected. All right, first try. Look at that. I was afraid that I'd have to redo the button. I was like, ah, crap. It is what it is. I'm going to tilt up just a little bit for you guys. Now let's take the torso, take Bonebreaker's head, kerplop, and then we're going to just ever so gently. Ooh, he doesn't want to go in. Why doesn't he want to go in? Why doesn't he want to go in? So the reason he wasn't going in, I had to stop and actually think about it for a second, is he has this leather doohickey right here. It kept trying to go in the hole. So be careful for leather doohickeys. Now these are just spare hands that came with Vulcan, so we don't need those right now. We'll talk about those in a second. Same with the gun. Now the barrels, I love that it has the little bullet pings on them. So you take that, and you take that, and you go whoop-ah. And the same with the second one. You go whoop-ah. And with that said, here's Bonebreaker put together, and oh my goodness, guys, look at this thing. This thing is so awesome. Yeah, I've seen pictures and I've seen other people review it, but until you have this bad mamma jamma in hand, you can't fathom how freaking cool this guy is. The Reavers were always one of my favorite villain gangs, per se. Yeah, per se, it's a fancy word. And Bonebreaker was just one of those awesome, psychotic ones that really kind of helped. It was sort of a comedy relief to Pierce's more dreadfulness. So with that said, let's get this bad boy off the spinner and see everything that this guy has to offer. Now, before we get into the figure in and of itself, let's talk about some quick backstory with Bonebreaker. He was created by Chris Claremont and Marc Silvestri. His first appearance was Uncanny X-Men 229 from May of 1988. He's half man, half cyborg, and was the original leader of the Reavers. They were a gang of cyborgs living in a ghost town in the Australian outback. This was during, well, should I say, after the fall of the mutants, when everyone presumed the X-Men dead and they started hanging out in Australia, which was one of my favorite runs by Claremont. However, after their defeat at the hands of the X-Men, Bonebreaker sought out Donald Pierce and Lady Deathstrike to rebuild the Reavers. They defeated Wolverine and left him for dead, nailed to a wooden X, which loved this issue, Uncanny X-Men 251. That was shortly after they introduced Jubilee. As a way to get back at Wolverine, Pierce created Albert and LCD as a trap. However, Bonebreaker accidentally gave LCD the maximum artificial intelligence instead of that of a 5-year-old. As a result, LCD and Albert decided that Wolverine was a noble person and foiled Pierce's plans. During that time period with Larry Hama and all that stuff that happened during the 90s and the late 80s was a time to be alive as an X-Men fan. They were such awesome stories. Some of them get a little kooky, but still it was just consecutively fun and the art was always amazing. Now, the last that I saw of Bonebreaker was him getting his ass handed to him, trying to defile the grave of Wolverine in The Hunt for Wolverine, one shot from April 2018. Let me know if there's any other, vital issues that you guys suggest, X-Men or other Marvel titles. Now, with that said, let's talk about the accessories that Bonebreaker comes with. The one thing that I think is freaking awesome right off the bat is, usually Build-A-Figures will get one set of hands, but here at least we get two fisted hands, so I can't complain too much. And they match the color of him very well, so I'm cool with that. And then this, God, I don't even know what type of gun this is. It looks a little bit like an assault rifle. And I kind of wished it was gunmetal gray, but still, look at the thickness of this bad mamma jamma. That thing is awesome. The details, the clip, the hand, the butt, the hand. I'm gonna start calling the handle. I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna grab the hand. Kind of got Finding Nemo. I'm gonna touch the butt. I'm gonna grab the hand. I like too that they gave you a little hole so you could peg smoke effects into it. Sadly, I don't have one on hand at the moment, or else I would. Feel free to make fun of me down in the comments. The scope looks cool. Awesome as pie, I guess you could say, or the next best thing since sliced bread. Very cool gun. And then for Bonebreaker in and of himself, some of the accessories, like he comes with these barrels, and I love the way that they're just dinged up, and they pop off, as you can see where the bullet holes are. I kind of wish that these were smaller, so you could put them in the hidey hole, but as you can see, no go. No going hole. But it's neat that they could pop off and, you maybe make like an explosion diorama or something. That's neat. And I don't think... Poo-poo! It no fit. It looks more like that as Tank's trying to take a dookie. Well, we tried. But still, it's a cool little addition. The greens look great. Love the motor. The motor there is just the bee's knees. I love that thing. And you just think about when him moving, and having to smell all that exhaust. The fans there look awesome. Love the cannon here. Put a little blast effect there. Oh, forget about it. His grenade launcher. Too bad they didn't put a hole where you could put like a grenade in there. Well, is what it is. The chassis where he's attached looks awesome and nice and old school. 90s, very Jim Lee inspired mecha look there. Love the reds, love the blacks, love the silvers. Same thing with the engine. The figure himself, I guess you could call this an accessory. He does have his sunglasses, and look at that. When you do this, this is just me. Let me know what you guys think. But he kind of looks like a Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Just like bow, 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 bow. But anyway, the hair looks great. I love that the sunglasses can pop up and they pop off. The problem is, though, is then it looks like he got this Frankenstein monster's holes in his head. I got holes in my head. Okay, I think I've had too much coffee for once, guys. Who would have thunk? See if I can get this back on his face. All right, and we're back in business. Ha! Mouth looks good. That look of that just looks good. Neck color, I'm excited. This thing is awesome. This is cool. The one thing that I was talking about earlier is see how the leather bunches up. You got to be careful. That went down the hole before the peg did, and I know that sounds completely wrong. Anyway, but once I moved those, he clicked in just fine. The silver bands look awesome. Gloves look awesome. Hair looks so 80s punk rock. Love it! Everything about the figure in terms of paint apps and accessories, just the bees frickin' knees. Now with that said, let's talk a little bit about that one thing that does stuff. If you guys can know what I'm talking about, I'll give you $1. Just kidding. The articulation. This is probably the one thing right off the bat. I'm gonna tilt down just a little bit for you guys. No go. No go Flojo. No wheels. No wheels! Oh yeah, and then I forgot to talk about the undercarriage. Looks good. Kind of wish that opened. Yeah, don't open. Crap. Then we're going to move these because they are bugging the shite out of me. All the battle damage. But yeah, you would think Hasbro, having the Transformers line, that they would have thought that'd be vital to put just some little rolly rolls under here so that we could rolly roll. Ah! Oh well. At least in terms of the rest of the articulation, his head go down, head go up, head go wiggle wiggle, look that way, and kind of gets that flea chili pepper headbang. Doom da doom da doom. That's gonna be in my head all day now. Crap. His arms spin 360. They go up that way, upper bicep swivel, double jointed arms, wrist spin 360, and of course the wrists. Yeah, the wrist's kind of bendy, a little bit. But in terms of articulation, that's it. Oh, sorry, I lied. It's a little stiff. You have to warm him up a little bit, but he does swivel on his chassis. But you can hear that click, click, and you're just like, oh crap, I'm gonna break it. And then, as we just talked about a minute ago, the last bit of articulation is the hidey hold that hides nothing. Sad. But still, awesome figure, beautiful paint apps, just the right amount of accessories, and I love that there's foot pegs here so that you can slap a Bad Mama Jamma on the back, which that's kind of a hint at a review that we will be doing in the near future. So, just overall, absolutely happy with this figure. Love it! Now to clarify, it's not that when I say I hate Build-A-Figures, it's not that I don't hate getting action figures. Don't get me wrong. It's just, when you put it in context like this, look at how many figures are in the wave. I mean, my God, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 figures, 6 to build, 1 extra. Why the 1 extra? They could have saved this Wolverine for whatever else, like Mecha Donald Pierce Build-A-Figure. That's why I like deluxe figures, because, and then on top of that, last thing, and there goes Siren. There's some figures that you don't want, like Darwin was very much kind of one that no one really wanted from this wave. Vulcan was kind of a hit and miss. But for this wave in particular, I'm not going to complain, because besides Batman, my other top #1 comic that I've been reading since I was a kid and still love to this day is the X-Men. So whenever I see an X wave, you know I'm going to be all over that. And we got an awesome BAF out of it. Got a cool Wookin' Wolverine. And I'm thankful to finally have a Siren. Maggot's awesome. This old school Sabretooth, and especially the old school, what's his name? Havoc. Oh, I'm excited. And then they get the Bonebreaker. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited if you can't tell. So guys, let me know what you think of all these figures down in the comments. And just to add, I did have fun with Darwin, even though he kind of became the subject of the victim of all my horror reviews in October. That's okay, we had fun with it nonetheless. So yeah, let me know. And there they go! Let me know down in the comments. I know that I said I'm tired of Build-A-Figures, but just to be able to get Bonebreaker, I don't care. I'm happy. The wave in and of itself was hit or miss, but this guy was damn well worth it. And as I said, it could have been a deluxe figure, and that would have been awesome. I would have paid money for a deluxe figure like this. But nonetheless, I am one happy camper. It's one of those few times where I really don't have a lot to bitch about. I mean, if I had to complain, it would be two things. A, I want some roly rolls. You don't roly roll. Just put little tiny wheels like you would a Transformer. I mean, it's Hasbro. They could have went over to the Transformers department and went, hey, give us some wheels to roly roll. The other thing is the Heidi hatch here. It would have been cool if they made these barrels be able to fall out of here, or, you know, if they want to leave them big and awesome like that, weapon storage. But it's tiny and there's not much you can do with it. But still, it's an awesome feature. Everything about the paint apps, you know, for the torso in and of itself, articulates nicely there on that mechanized chassis. I can't complain. Awesome Build-A-Figure. Hasbro did a great job with this one. Highly recommend it, guys. Either try to get it complete online or, you know, go the route and get all the figures, because it's an X-Men wave, and who, you know, gotta have an X-Men wave. If you guys have enjoyed what you've seen, as I just said, first and foremost, support your local comic shop and either get the wave, or you can go the other routes that we've talked about. And if you've enjoyed this review, we really would appreciate if you take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Helps the club channel more than you could possibly know. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that fancy little Reaver bell next to subscribe, that way as we continue to upload content, you guys get notified. Come to the channel, and we love talking with you and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments below, or our social media pages, which I'll make sure to leave links down in the description. So with all that said, thank you so much for stopping by. Photo slideshow coming up next, and I hope you all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, true believers.